attic video. Jacqie and I are working through the Freaky Fast Friday formulas from the Scraproom and just having a lot of fun kind of playing around with papers and coming up with our designs. The formulas are basically just a set of measurements for you to cut your papers to, and it was sort of the intention of getting you out of a rut or kind of giving you somewhere to start a layout so that you don't have to do too much of the thinking. And once you start cutting into your papers, picking patterns, all that kind of stuff, then hopefully that kind of gets those creative juices flowing and you can kind of take it from there and keep adding to it. So, we are all the way back to the very beginning. This is the fifth one I think we've done. Yeah, I think this is our fifth one. And this one had all kind of little strips of paper. So my background I cut to 8.5 by 11. You always get one background paper. Because I'm doing an 8.5 by 11 album for my 2022 pictures, I needed to cut my paper down, but you could leave it at 12 by 12 or whatever size you're working with. You don't have to do pattern paper. You could just do plain cardstock if you want. That's totally up to you. I picked a 12 by 12 pattern paper that I have in my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. And then it kind of worked out really well actually because my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, I put a whole bunch of these 6x6 pieces of paper into it, and that's what we needed to cut this week is a bunch of different widths and all 6 inches long. So somehow it was meant to be. It worked out. I did not pre-plan that before I built my kit, so good for me. But yeah, you can see me here just going through some of those 6x6 papers and cutting down the different widths. So there was 3/4 of an inch by 6 and 1/2 inch by 6. And I think 1 3/4 inches by 6, and then 2 inches by 6 inches, and then 2 strips of paper at 1 inch by 6 inches. So lots of fun little strips. And again, another challenge for me because of the smaller size. I kind of felt like I wasn't quite sure how I was going to get all these strips in. And then the other thing I kind of switched up this time because it went with my papers is 2 of those strips, the wider strips, are horizontal. The images are horizontal and the words are horizontal. So these ones here, you can see I had to place them this way on the paper. I mean, did I have to? I guess not. There are no rules. I say that all the time. So, you're right. I didn't have to place them this way. It's just that was the right orientation for them. And then the other strips, the 3 that you see going vertical, those images are vertical on the paper the way that I cut them. And so if I want all of these images to kind of be facing the right directions, I have 2 that need to go horizontal, 3 that need to go vertical, and then that one kind of tone on tone red stripe pattern could go either way. So that gave me a bit of a design challenge as well, that when Jacqie does her strips, she may not encounter that same type of thing. Check out Mel too. She's been playing along as well, and always coming up with a different layout from us too. So definitely a lot of fun. If you guys are playing along, let me know in the links down below because I'd love to see what you guys come up with too. But either one of them, depending on the patterns that they're cutting, those strips of paper could go either way. And so far in the other layouts that I've done, when I've been cutting the papers, the strips have all sort of had basically the same orientation. So I haven't really encountered this. And again, I didn't pre-plan it. So I pulled out a couple of pictures knowing that my kit has a lot of Valentine's stuff and that I was going to go with Valentine's. And I knew that it would be an 8.5 by 11. But other than that, I didn't really pre-plan the strips of paper that I was cutting. I just went through those 6x6 pieces and pulled out ones that all kind of look together. I actually think most of these come from the same collection, but I couldn't tell you what that collection is because they're all pieces from my sampler packs, and I've kind of mixed all of my papers together. And so I'm not really sure where each of the little collections goes, and like what each pattern goes to. But I think these are all from the same collection. So I kind of just pulled those ones out. They seem to match the background paper and they also match the photos. But other than that, there was no sort of forethought when I was cutting them about how I was going to design this paper. I wanted to make my cuts first and then play around with all of the pieces and try to figure out how to put them together. So that definitely posed a bit of a challenge for me, trying to figure out how to get some pieces going horizontal and other pieces going vertical, while also fitting 3 pictures onto this layout. And just, still having some of the background showing and stuff like that. So I took my 3 pieces and kind of created a bit of layering down at the bottom of the page. That way you can read the writing, you can see those little birds. And then I don't know if this is cheating. Again, there are no rules, but are there rules when you have a formula to follow? I'm not sure. But I took those strips of paper and cut them and created a banner. So I did end up using them all. I definitely didn't leave any pieces out. I made sure that I used up every little scrap, but I didn't keep them as the full length of the measurement that we were given. I don't know. I love it. I think it turned out really, really good. So I'm not going to apologize for it, but I might have cheated again this week. So in any case, you get to do whatever you want to do. Once you've cut your papers, you get to design the layout how it's going to work best for you with the papers and with your pictures. And I think this turned out super, super cute. It's definitely kind of a mix of some go-to elements like putting a banner up at the top, but then also some new stuff because I've never really done sort of those little layers down at the bottom, and the way that I've got my pictures kind of spread right across the page. And also that one little banner, I didn't want to kind of squish it up at the top, and so I popped it down under the pictures and created just a little embellishment area, I guess, for myself. And then it also kind of gave me a spot to go ahead and put my title. So a little bit of unique stuff to me, but then also some kind of old familiar things that I enjoy doing. So I think this layout turned out as a great combination of the two, and it's super cute. I really like it. So I kept the embellishments really simple. I'm finding on this size, the 8.5 by 11 size, I am enjoying some simple embellishments. And then also because there's so much pattern in here and there's lots of writing, I think there's a lot of little details and, interest on the page without having to add a bunch of extra embellishments. So I just went into my stash and found these little foam cursive stickers, and put a title which says My Valentine's. And then I added the red, they're sort of like an enamel dot, but they're in the shape of a heart. And I actually got them, I think, from Dollarama. They're kind of like in the same spot as the rhinestones and those types of things. So they're all attached with one length of adhesive. And I just kind of put them right along the top of the banner instead of adding maybe some twine or string, and thought that could kind of look like the string that's hanging the banner. And then I put a couple of them around the title and down by that little piece of banner at the bottom. I did my little kind of sketchy lines to give a bit of a border and just bring in a little bit more black. because that one strip of black paper was really bold. So I kind of felt like it needed a little bit of balance. And then again, to kind of balance that out, I'm going to add a few little sequins here. I thought maybe there wasn't a lot of room for splatters. So I'm going to go ahead and use these little sequins. And that's really it. That is all the embellishing that I'm going to do. No journaling because there are other pictures that go with this. So yeah, just a really quick, simple, easy layout. And I absolutely love how it turned out. So that is it for me for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please click on Jacqie's link down below so you can go and check out how she interpreted all the measurements this week. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.